away from this league going back to pre-2024, not 2023, but everything lower in 2024. Like, we all know this league is nowhere near as culturally relevant right now.
We've been one Caitlin Clark injury away from this league since before 2004. That is not hyperbole. It is the uncomfortable reality that is driving every move in the CBA negotiations right now. And you're about to watch how both teams are playing the most hazardous game of chicken in WNBA history.
He knows it's a problem. But the players, and this is where the kind of lack of professionalism on the player side comes in. Like, they're like reposting stuff about striking. They basically said here, at midnight, it expires despite demonstrating our willingness to compromise in order to get the deal done. They've shown no willingness. From what we've seen, the players have said
the silence is terrible. Fire's Take isn't discussing women's basketball. ESPN isn't covering Paige Becker's 44-point performance. The only WNBA news that emerged in January 2025 was Caitlin Clark's first exhibition game, and whether she would join the Liberty. That is it. In just 6 months, the league went from cultural phenomenon to forgotten. And this is what makes it terrifying for everyone concerned. The WNBA Players Association recently let their collective bargaining agreement expire at midnight on January 31st. They set up an inflatable rat outside the NBA store in New York. They are tweeting about strikes while the league sits across the table, saying one word: unsustainable.
Every bit of leverage they have to get as much money as they can. As long as they don't overplay their hand and the season doesn't happen. Even fuck it, even if some of the games have to be played in alternate arenas because they're double booked, who cares? At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that the season happens. The players need to use every bit of leverage. It's a game of chicken that right now the owners are winning.
So let's talk about what the players really desire. Revenue sharing is based on 30% of gross league revenue, rather than a fixed wage ceiling that increases by 5% annually, as the league formerly offered. They prefer a variable structure that grows and lowers with the league's financial performance each year. The league position, that is a non-starter. And here's when things become difficult. The WNBA does not function like the NBA. Most teams are independently owned with separate operating costs. The league does not control enough income to support such a structure. When the Players Association advocates for pay fairness, they are using a phrase that sounds progressive but reflects a business model that the league's current structure simply cannot support.
A'ja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier. If this league shuts down, and those 6 or 7 players that I've mentioned, if the league shuts down, and every city that has a team, because yes, there are cities that have fans, every city that has a team starts a breakout league, and every single player in the WNBA, except for those 6 players, doesn't play, and they all play in their markets.
And now both sides are playing with fire. The players claim the league is not bargaining in good faith. They are blogging about labor protests and expressing they're ready to do whatever is necessary. But look at what they are actually doing. They are not willing to compromise. They put a line in the sand and are challenging the league to cross it. The difficulty is that the league knows something that the players do not want to admit. There are probably 6 or 7 players in this league whose personal brand is larger than their team's brand. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, Sabrina Ionescu, Bannon Stewart, A'ja Wilson, and Nafisa Collier. That is a list. Everyone else is replaceable from a business standpoint. That's harsh, but it's a reality. Think about the Connecticut Sun. You could replace their entire squad with UConn alums who aren't currently in the league, and attendance would not suffer. Viewership would not change. The Connecticut Sun brand represents a franchise, not the individual players. That holds true for the majority of teams in this league.
Everybody knows this isn't a case of, is there going to be a 2026 season? This is a case of, is this league going to exist or not? And who has more to lose by this league not existing? And I think the players have more to lose. That's just my opinion. I think the players should hold out. I think the players, they don't like what they get, they should hold out. They should absolutely hold out. No question about it. Get as much as you can get. Get every cent until you have to miss it.
Here's a nightmare scenario that has everyone awake at night. Assume the players refuse to cooperate. Let's say they do strike and missing games. The 2025 season is postponed or cancelled outright. What will happen next? The league folds. Not immediately, but the dominoes begin to fall. Sponsors pull out since there is no product to associate their brand with. The new broadcast agreement that everyone is banking on to support these compensation hikes is renegotiated or cancelled since the league failed to deliver on its promises. Teams in smaller areas were already losing money annually. They ceased down operations. And then what? The players believe they may establish their own league or join an existing one. But here's a reality check. Unrivaled is already failing. We have the numbers. Despite receiving massive investment from tech bros who believed women's basketball was the next cryptocurrency, despite the Caitlin Clark boom sparking unprecedented interest, and despite signing a panic deal with TNT shortly after losing NBA rights, the WNBA finished dead last in prime-time television ratings for their key demographic.
And money's not going to be made up elsewhere. So your players care deeply about the fans, take pride and honour and loyalty every time they take part in the court. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Like, I mean that. And this is not a knock on certain players. It's not a knock on teams. It's not a knock on the league. I do not believe that the majority of WNBA players care about a single fan. I don't believe that. And that's not like a... I think they care about sport basketball. I think they care about their teammates. I think they care about a lot of things. I don't think a lot of them care about it.
Let's talk about leverage because the participants completely misunderstand their situation. They act as if they are complete authority because the league requires it. But the league does not require all of them. Caitlin Clark's health and performance are critical to the league. That is it. That is a full leverage calculation right now. If Caitlin Clark tears her ACL tomorrow, the league's income predictions will collapse. The television contract is renegotiated lower. Attendance falls back to 2023 levels. Suddenly, the changing income share that the players are requesting reduces the salary cap from $1.3 million to $600,000. And by that point, the league is no longer sustainable. So it does not matter. The owners are aware of this. The league office is aware of this. And deep down, the players understand this. That is why this is really risky. Both parties are putting the future of women's professional basketball and their ability to outlast the other in a negotiation in which neither can afford to lose. That is a video. I'm concerned that the players are overplaying their hand. But at the end of the day, I won't blame them unless a game is missed. I believe they may be overplaying their hands until one game is missed. I am all for the players doing anything they can to get paid as much as possible until they miss one